Alrighty. Well, thanks for coming back on the channel. How are you feeling, just mentally, physically, etc.?
Physically, I feel like shit. Mentally, I feel like shit. So every day I'm just working on getting better. You know what I'm saying? Physical therapy, it's been tough just to get to physical therapy because of my
Mm-hmm.
insurance. I just got new insurance. And then right when I was ready to start my new PT place, I started getting stomach issues. And I had to wait a long time to get. They had to do a thing where they put a camera down my throat. It was like everything's happening. Well, good that it's happening now when I'm off, but I was in a lot of pain, and thank God it was. As of right now, it was nothing serious because I'm still waiting for results. But from the initial thing, he was like, "Look, no cancer, no ulcer, no nothing," and him and my primary doctor were just like, "So how stressed are you?" I said, "Whoa, whoa." I said, "Really? How long do you have? Do we need a therapist to come in here at least and talk?" So they're trying to get me to like not stress out, calm down, like not uh pro wrestling is something very serious to me
Mm-hmm.
because it's the only place where I find happiness in the ring. People think I'm joking or it's a cute little thing. Look, I may be nuts and I don't care, but it is truly a euphoric feeling being in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the only time I feel free in my whole life. I've never felt more free than when I'm in the ring because there's nothing else that matters but the fight that's going on there. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Not having that's really messed with my head. And thank God I have a good lady and I got good friends around me. You know what I mean? I'm not going to mention who because some work at other companies. And uh, I don't want to ruin their stuff, but I mean, I have good people around me. I really do, and it just takes me a while to open up about it. As you can see, no haircut, no shave. You know, going through my Brody era since ever homicide of my mother. Even my mom said I look like Brody. She goes, "You look like that crazy guy you used to always watch." I said, "Oh." So yeah, I'm
Well,
doing okay. How about that? Well,
all right, all right.
that was long just to say
We'll
I'm doing
take
okay.
it. We'll take it.
I'm
Uh,
doing
s-
okay, man.
Speaking of those people around you, what can you say about Cesar Bononi as a trainer?
Oh, he's a sweetheart. He also doesn't make you feel dumb. That was always my thing with personal trainers or people saying, "Hey, I can help you with this and that." I'm like, "Look, man, I know how to lift weights. I know what to eat, what not to eat. It all depends if I do it. You know what I mean? I know what cardio to do that I like doing, which is like in the ring or assault bike is my big thing. And I knew all that stuff, and I did the basic bodybuilder type thing. You know what I mean? Look up stuff on YouTube. What new way to make my shoulders look bigger or something. I just never liked personal trainers because the ones I've ran into, I've never used one. Cesar's the first one I've ever used, but the ones I've ran into were dicks. Except for my one homeboy, Pretty Boy, but he was cool. But a lot of them were just assholes, and like I was like, I don't need that. But Caesar is just he's not judgmental. He's very quick with, "Come on, dog. You know that's not. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's not good." He does try to fit everything to your liking. You know what I mean? And he's also just he's a really good motivator because he cares. You could tell he cares. It's genuine, which is missing a lot, not just in the world, but also in wrestling too. Is that he's genuine about his care for who he's with. You know what I mean? And that thing just went off because Sports Center. Again, I'm on my iPad, folks. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, it's good on my end thus far, so
Oh, okay, good. As long as
yeah.
you didn't hear the beep of the Sports Center popping up.
No, we're all good. So of all the bumps and bruises you've got in your career, where does this current injury layoff stack up for you?
Oh, it's the worst because it's the most time I've ever been out of the ring. I've never been out of the ring this long in my whole career. On the independents, you had to work.
Mm-hmm.
to make money. You know what I mean? So there was like maybe I would take a weekend off.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I broke my ankle in '07. They were like, "You're out for like 6 months." I was back in 3, like an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
And then same thing with my orbital bone. They were like, "Oh, it's about 8 weeks." I was back in 4. And then with the hernia surgery that I had, they were like, "You're out, 6 to 8 weeks." I was back in 5. It was just like,
Yeah,
hurry up and let's get it going. And like,
Misawa worked through the orbital bone, so why
yeah,
can't you?
that's what I actually was thinking. But I was also like, nah. I was also like, you know what? He didn't have to get on those planes, man, and feel that pressure on your eye socket. You know what I mean? So I was like, nah. If they were near me, yeah, sure, but I'm not feeling that air pressure on my face, and then it would blow up, and I was like, nah. And then even I messed up my hand in like 2012, where I had to get like they had to cut me open and put my tendons together. Yeah, it was a good time. Good time. It was outside of wrestling. So anyway, uh, I wrestled with the cast on. Didn't miss a day.
Mm-hmm.
So this has just been the most, and it's been the worst because it's also my legs. You know what I mean? When I'm done with this career, I'm gonna want to walk. You know what I mean? So it's just as bad, and it's frustrating because you feel like you're making steps towards things. And like I said, my insurance at the time was horrible, and doing my own PT, and then people telling you no, that's not good. And then you start getting in your own head, and you start thinking to yourself, you're not going to be the same. You're not. And then there's been thoughts in my head like, man, maybe I should just stop. There's been moments, but that it goes in and out
Mm-hmm.
with that stuff because I have too much in my mind. I still have goals to reach, and people who know me know the main goal is Budokan.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And after that, I'll keep the other goals to myself until they happen. But I still got things to do, and I got to keep going. I got to keep going until legit my body's like, you're done. You're done. Because everything else feels good.
Mm-hmm.
My shoulders have been bothering me for years. They feel great now since I've been off. You know what I mean? My neck's been bothering me for years, like little kinks here and there. Feels great. So it's just trying to get this leg going again. I'm farther along than I've been in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a slow process.
Yeah.
With ACLs, it's a slow, long process. And I'm also blessed because I remember when ACLs were the death nail for a career
Oh
in
yeah.
any sport. And now it's like, I just had the doctor was like, oh yeah, I do like 800 something of these every year. So I was like, what? So I had a great doc up in Jacksonville. So, you know what I mean? He was, I like personable people, especially if you're going to cut me open. You know what I mean? Don't be cold and, oh, it's a job. Talk to me, dog. Let me know everything's going to be all right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's like I said, it's been the worst one. But, man, you know me. I'm a firm believer in that everything happens for a reason. And there's a reason for this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is yet. Usually, you never, what I've learned in my life is usually never find out what the reason is until it's years down the road. So I'm just looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm. So the match you went down in was with Gabe Kidd,
Yeah.
and since then he's gone on a huge run and leading to that huge match with Kenny Omega at Wrestle Kingdom. How closely have you been following him since you've been out?
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. I haven't watched anything but stuff I want to watch. I haven't watched AEW. I haven't watched New Japan. I have watched old New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched, my Kings Road stuff, and I've watched early Noah,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. I don't want to watch anything new because it's just gonna piss me off. Whatever I watch is gonna piss me off. I know it is. And only thing with Gabe Kidd, I read things and seen things, and I'm not mad at Gabe for what
Mm-hmm.
happened because he was trying to win a match and it happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I've done that. You know what I mean? where you're trying to win a match, and then next thing you know, something bad happens to your opponent, and you take advantage, and that's it. And would he be having this run now if he lost to me? Probably no. But the one thing that I don't like that Gabe does, that a lot of people do, and especially this generation, I guess you could say, is nothing's authentic, everything's a lie, everything's fake. And the reason why I say that is because Gabe sits there and says how much he loves New Japan and how much he represents New Japan and it's in his blood and all that good jazz. Then why are you part of the Bullet Club? I don't understand. Has anyone even asked them that, or have they all been caught up in his bullshit?
I think the
Because that's
War
all it
Dogs
is.
got kicked out of the group.
Did they really?
Yeah,
Gabe got kicked out.
I believe so.
Good. Good. That's what you got. Now maybe he can stop bullshitting and really show that he loves New Japan. Good. I didn't even know that. Good. Because that was the thing that was getting to me was like, if he loves it so much, why is he still part of Bullet Club?
Mm-hmm.
Now that you're telling me that again, now I got to look that up. But if he got kicked out, good. Who else got kicked out with him?
I can't remember. It was the other. I think it was just the War Dogs as a unit.
So was it what, Maloney?
Yeah.
I've known Maloney since he was a kid. That dude's an animal. So yeah, no, if he's kicked out of it, let me tell you something. You reap what you sow, dog.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now let's see if he really cares about New Japan now that he doesn't have that Bullet Club bullshit with him.
Yeah, it looks like the entire War Dogs unit. So Kid, Finley, Maloney.
They all got kicked out, huh?
By Evil, yeah.
Ah, well, there you go. Why would you even fuck with Evil anyway? See, that's where you go. You lay down with dogs, you get face. I don't feel bad. But again, I'm not mad at Gabe, but look, he got kicked out. He should have left. If he really loved New Japan, he should have left a while ago. So everything to me he says is bullshit.
So
You know what I mean?
yeah. So you said you haven't been watching anything new, but you
Well,
did do.
that's a lie. There's one person. There's one person I've been watching. Takesha that I've been watching. He's the only person I'll watch.
I was gonna say though, but you did a part of a video package for Bryan Danielson for one of his big matches in this past year. Do you have any thoughts on his retirement?
I'm happy that he's taking care of himself because Brian is like many of us that came through learned that you keep going until you physically can't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were all taught like Brian's a couple of years ahead of me break when he broke in, but I was like maybe 3 years after him. And we were kind of part of that circle of guys during the indies where you worked, it don't matter. Doesn't matter. Your neck hurts, this hurts, that hurts. You go, you keep going. You know what I mean? You told
Mm-hmm.
the promoter or the booker that you were going to be there. Oh, your ankles, fractured, tape it up, go. You know what I mean? Work around it, fight around it. You know what I mean? Protect it. So I'm happy he's finally taking care of himself because that was even when I was in there with him and I was trying to beat him and I was trying to put a little bit of hurt in him. There were moments after matches where I was like, man, okay, I really gave it to him and I dropped him pretty high. And, I mean, that back fist was right on the cheekbone for a reason. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to drive my fist through his face. And you kind of sit there and go, I hope he can still go when he has to. You know what I mean? So, no, it's that. And then it's also sad because it shows that we're all getting older.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's sad because of that we're all getting older, and it's also sad because you're not going to see him again in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how I felt about him on a personal level, I thought Brian was, some people call him the GOAT. If that's their GOAT, I'm not going to fight that. Usually other people, I'll be like, eh. But if they say Brian's their GOAT, then I'll be like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, all right, I can see it. You know what I mean? He's not better than Terry Funk, but I can see it. I can get it. I can get it. So, no, man, it's bittersweet. There you go. It's very bittersweet.
That makes sense. On the note of Terry Funk, I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite Terry Funk match that you've watched since you've been out, and what's your favorite Aja Kong match?
Okay, so Terry Funk man matchup. Jeez, man, that's so him and Brody from Corrigan, where he's bleeding out of his. I don't know the date, but he's bleeding out of his ear. You know what I mean? That match, him and Saruda, I think, and I like to think 79 or 76 is another one that I like. Anything with him and Flair from the I Quit, of course. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, anything from early ECW too, with him and Shane, him and Sabu, especially that three-way dance the night the line was crossed. I definitely checked that out. I've watched him and Harley at least twice since I've been out. You know what I mean? So like that, the number for that match is like 60 something times I've seen it. Aja Kong, man, I can't put dates on it, but anytime she was ever in the ring with Toyota,
Mm-hmm.
whenever she was in the ring, either teaming up with Bull Nakano or against Bull Nakano, because Bull's like personal favorite of mine.
Oh yeah.
And then I know this is so bad, but I always forget her name or I say it wrong, and it
Mm-hmm.
just bothers me. But the girl who wears the face paint.
Lioness Asuka?
No, not lying. I
Okay.
know her. No, bigger Joshi. She does like a little dance before she does the Muda lock.
Oh man, now I feel like a fake fan too.
Yeah. I always say her name wrong or I don't get it at all. So it's like, you know, it almost looks Ultimate Warrior-ish paint.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Oh
look this
man,
up
now I'm gonna
afterwards.
no, no, I'm gonna get on it. But yeah, those are the matches that are like whenever she's in there with her too. That girl had a great match with Toyota in '95 that went like an hour. Oh, I can't believe I'm gonna forget her name. But yeah, those those are the matches.
Oh, this is we were doing our research live on the air here.
Live on the air, folks. And none of this will get edited. None of it. None
um
of it.
Also, I was wondering, have you followed independent wrestling at all?
I I try to keep up with it because I do plan on going back to the independents before I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Just one more ride around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if my if my stupid name does anything to
Mm-hmm.
help these promotions, I would love it. Like I would love to go back to Chicago for AAW, Ohio for AIW. Um, definitely Defy, Progress, Rev Pro, Glory Pro. My dudes in Atlanta are tearing it up at AWE. There's a bunch, and I'm probably forgetting, and I apologize, but yeah, there's a bunch of places I want to go back to when I have like when I say it's time to go. I would like my dream scenario is ending my career in Japan,
Mm-hmm.
but doing my last little indie loop just to say thank you and then disappear. Get a
Are
flip phone and disappear.
are there any particular independent wrestlers you look at them and you go, "Yeah, I got to get into the ring with them," because it might not be good for your health? Because, but are you familiar
Yeah,
with Mad Dog Connolly?
I've heard of him. Not too much. I have not seen, but I know Joseph has
Mm-hmm.
put him over to me. Um, and I've seen other people put him over. And you know what? I definitely do have to get it checked out with him. Oh, what's her name? Annoy.
Mm-hmm.
Inoue.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I probably said it wrong, but her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, there you go, folks. I remember her and Toyota went to a draw in '95. I remember having that. Here's a name for you. I remember getting the best of 1995 from two different places. One was from RF Video, the other one was from Mayfield. My man Mayfield used to sell all these Japanese VHS tapes at shows. It was amazing. Anyway, yeah, I've heard of him. I would like to get in there with him, definitely for sure. And I've wrestled Mance Warner, but now he's not Indian, right, anymore. I don't know. I've heard he's with TNA now.
It's popping at
Uh,
TNA, MLW. It's hard to track.
Yeah, yeah. So I've heard that. Also, uh, what's the kid's name? Priest.
Adam
I've heard.
Priest.
Yeah, I've heard about. Yeah, I like to get in the ring with those guys and whoever else. Like I may ask you when it's time, or Joseph, be like, hey, who are the indie guys I should get in there with, and test myself. I'm not gonna go in there to plan to lose, but I'm like, all right, let me see what the young dogs got.
Hmm.
You know.
So, in the same vein, you mentioned Takeshita, but is there anyone that has really like emerged in the past year in AEW that you see and you're like, I'd like to give that another shot? Because I think about a guy like Daniel Garcia, who you've wrestled before, um, but he's really come into his own as the TNT champion, or Takeshita, who's going on a great run right now.
Yeah, I just been watching Takeshita because I don't know. I was Continental champ, whatever, strong champ, and Ring of Honor champ, and I just feel like the next progression is, the was it international?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then after that TNT, then after that world title, and then after that tag time. I want them all. You know what I mean? Like I told you, I had goals. There you go. I just told you. There it is. But I like to go step by step. I don't like hopping
Hmm.
other people. I'm not one of the Tony Khan privileged. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I just go do my job. And if I'm asked for my opinion, you'll get it. If you like it, okay. If you don't like it, don't matter. It's opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone got one, and they all stink. You know.
Hmm.
So that's why I've been watching him a lot, and he's also on a run.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean, I haven't really watched anything with Garcia, not yet, because that's not what I'm looking at.
Hmm.
Again, I would love to go back and start racking up some wins and face either Takeshita or whoever the international champion is. But again, I don't book the shows, though.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't book the matches. I don't. Tony Khan just sends me who he wants me to get in there with. I say, okay, sign the paper, and that's it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't do a lot of other stuff, but that's what I would like to do. But again, not my show. I don't book it. We'll see what happens. But that's why I'm watching Takeshita a lot, is because, study and see how he's evolving and how I can beat him.
Hmm.
Because that's the point.
So, when you come back, are you officially going to be a mean old man wrestler?
I thought I was already.
Yeah.
I thought I was pretty close. I was pretty close.
The beard adds something.
No, the beard's gonna go. My mom and my girl will disown me if I go on TV with this beard, not clean cut and the eyebrows done and haircut. Nah, man, when I come back, I'm just gonna be me still.
All right.
I don't know any other way, dog. If I come off like the mean old man, then that's what I am, I guess.
I guess
You
one could
know?
argue that you've always been, mean young man,
Yeah, yeah,
middle-aged man.
yeah. I feel like I'm starting to finally. My age is finally starting to catch up to my attitude that I've had. I've been called a curmudgeon since I was like 20 years old. People,
Hmm.
just, what are you doing? It's just I don't have time.
Yeah.
I don't have time for shit, and the life is short, and I want to do what I want to do. You know what I mean? And I want to act the way I want to act, and I just want to live my life. So if that makes me a curmudgeon or a bitter old man, then okay, so be it. You know what I mean? I'm not. It's just this is what you see is what you get with me. If people
Hmm.
don't know that by now, if they've never seen me fight, wrestle, or ever see me on AEW, when you do watch me, this is it.
Hmm.
There's nothing. Once I go backstage, it's the same. All right, I'm going home, or I'm going to take a shower. Let's hurry up. I'm trying to get out of here. I'm sweaty. I'm hurting. The ice in my shoulders, and now my knee probably down. I want to hurry up and get home. I'll go
Hmm.
into the locker room, look at everyone, and be like, let's get away from me. Very few people I hang out with. So Ortiz will be there, and I'll be like, monkey, come on. You know.
What is the origin of why he's called Monkey? I've always wondered this.
When he first started in wrestling, he had the nickname Funky Monkey. So, and that was it. And we
All
just
right.
just started calling him Monkey, and that was it. You know what I mean?
Mystery solved.
It really wasn't that deep, it wasn't
Yeah.
that crazy of a story. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I try, when he starts doing this little moving his hips a little bit and starts swirling around. I go, oh, there's Funky Monkey. There's Monkey. He's coming back. He's coming back. He can't help himself sometimes.
So, in my video that talked about your feud with Bryan Danielson, I highlighted you
Thank you
doing
for that video. You know me. I didn't,
yeah.
but thank you for that.
Um, in that video, I highlighted you doing some things that were had elements of shoot style to it, which isn't something you're necessarily known for. Are there any other skills that are part of your skill set that you're really proud of and you wish people would notice more?
People notice what I want them to notice.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So the question with what do I want? I want people to notice something more. If I want them to notice something, I'll put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't really like. I know what I can do. What I was trained in.
Mm-hmm.
I was trained in lucha. I've done very little jujitsu. I'm not very good at it, so that's why it's like, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I rely on strength too much. Like I'll try to throw somebody around, and next thing you know, said person, like my girlfriend's a black belt, and me and her will go back, start rolling around, and next thing you know, I'm trying to strongly move her, and she's on my back, and I'm going, okay, all right, enough. Uh, boxed when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a teenager, I boxed for about 3 years, and then I've done Muay Thai for about 7 or 8, and I can't wait to get back to that. Maybe that will help me mentally too. With this bullshit, is finally getting out some aggression.
I think our previous interview, you were just about to go back to Muay Thai.
Yeah,
And then yeah.
yep, and then boom, this happens because my trainer switched schools, and now cancel one, do the other, all that stuff I don't like to do. The minor conveniences that drive me nuts. But nah, man, I don't really care if people notice whatever. All I want people to do is watch wrestling. So if that
Mm-hmm.
has to do with me, if they want to watch wrestling because I'm on, awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. If not, if they can't stand me, but they're watching for Kenny Omega, great. At least you're watching. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I love pro wrestling, bro. That's it. That's all I want people to do is watch pro wrestling. I don't care if they're into me or not, or if they're like, oh, Eddie actually can do that. Man, I got to be some type of pro to be doing this for as long as I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, nah, man, I don't care. If I want you to notice something, you'll notice it like you did
Mm-hmm.
with some of the shoot stuff, some of the shoot background stuff like that I tried to mix in with guys like Brian. You know what I mean? So also I believed I had better hands than Brian. So that's why I was like, all right, let's do this. You know what I mean? Like with Mox, I won't roll around with Mox. Mox, I'll throw hands because I'm confident I have better hands and head movement than Mox does, but Mox knows how to roll and you know what I mean? So I'm not even trying to because I remember our match at World's End, he tried to go for a takedown. I was out. I was out. I was like, nope. Because I know once he gets me, I'm done. So, but nah, man, like I said, when people want to notice it, I'll let them know.
All right.
Yeah.
So, actually, on the note of Moxley, this is perhaps the most important question I have for you today. John Moxley in his book, you read that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I read it.
He speaks extensively about sandwiches. What does the
Yeah.
perfect sandwich look like for you?
For me, yeah, I read that part and I was like, you know what? He's on point. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, is that you got to go to a deli.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's a deli or a bodega, whatever it is, right? It don't matter. And you got to get an Italian roll, a hero, whatever. That's what I call it, a hero.
Mm-hmm.
Get a nice cut open, a little bit of mayo, nothing too crazy. Then you start putting that. First, you put some turkey on. Boom, boom, boom. 3 little pieces of turkey. Bam, bam, bam. Then you put on salami. Boom, boom, boom. 3 slices and then 3 slices of cheese. Do it. Cut it sideways. You're good to go. Now, if you want to get crazy, some of my best childhood memories was going to the bodega, getting that sandwich, getting They were like these onion rings, or I would get sour cream and onion potato chips and put it in the sandwich, squash it down, watch the Giant game. That used to be a Sunday for me when I was a kid. It's like one of the fondest memories of me as a kid was eating a sandwich like that and watching a game.
I can't argue with that as a basic experience. That's ambitious with the chips.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
on a similar to what I've been asking previously, is there any music or movies you've been consuming during your time out?
I finally watched Breaking Bad and finished it. I know.
Congratulations. Only,
It was
yeah,
good.
so
I
many
enjoyed it.
decades.
Yeah, I know. I enjoyed it, man. I really did. You know what? Or Monkey was like, you'll love it because you like character stuff. You'll love it. And I was like, eh. And then I watched it and it was great. I finished Better Call Saul. That was great. I'm probably gonna start watching True Detective the first season. I don't like, man, if I'm not watching the show right off the rip, like Game of Thrones, I watched it
Hmm.
first episode, first time it was on, and I was hooked. But like Breaking Bad and all those other shows that I'm naming now, I haven't watched it from the beginning.
Yeah.
So when it was hot and everybody was putting it over, I was being a bitter old curmudgeon old man and just being like, I'm not watching it. I'll wait till it's fully over. So now I'm just, I have time. So I'm watching it, catching up on it. So yeah, those music wise, I don't really like anything really too new. You know what I mean? Kendrick, I like. Griselda, I like. Benny the Butcher, Conway, West Side. You know what I mean? Those guys. But that's really it. Just Kendrick, really.
Hmm.
I've been listening to because Kendrick just, I liked him for a while, but it just makes me laugh what he's doing now. It
Yeah.
makes me laugh. It makes me laugh because I've never seen. You know what I mean? I come from the time where rap battles and rap beats were like all the time. Every record had something in there. It was like innuendo or something read between the lines. It was about somebody.
Hmm.
And I was there for the Pac and Biggie, you know what I mean? Stuff. And it's just, I've never seen anyone take a diss record and make it into like a top selling song. You know what I'm saying? Like where it was
Yeah.
performed at the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason like I used Not Like Us for my video about Kana.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. And like it's crazy to me. It's
Hmm.
crazy to me that he took that and like, you know what I mean? Seeing some of my friends' kids, they're older, teenagers dancing to that song. And I'm like, do they even know what that song's about? But like, I give him credit, man. You know what I mean? I give him credit. And it also just, I was never a big Drake fan just because it just wasn't, not that I was hating on him. It just wasn't my cup of tea, wasn't my style.
Hmm.
So just seeing a lot of the younger guys that I know who love Drake, like love him to the point where they're calling him the GOAT. And I'm sitting there going, see, now you're going to make me hate him if you're going to start saying that. Because, like, come on, bro. Like I'll put on Rock Kim for you and be like, look, but they're all hurting. So that's why I also laugh to see all these dudes that were telling me he's the GOAT, he's better than any of the guys you like, Eddie. You know what I mean? I would say, I would be like, DMX, Tupac, Biggie, Prodigy from Mobb Deep, Guru, you know what I mean, from Gangstar, all Black Thought, all these dudes. I would just start naming Rakim, all that. Nas, of course, and then
Jadakiss?
Jadakiss, of course, yeah, Yonkers, of course,
Hmm.
LOX, the Warlocks when I first heard them, but they would all say like, "Oh no, Drake, Drake, Drake." Now seeing them, they're hurting. They're hurting. I had one of them, one of the youngins hit me up like, "Yo, you think he could come back?" And I couldn't stop laughing. Like I had the auto record me laughing, and I never answered him, but I was just because it was so funny to see how hurt they are by this. You know what I mean? So, and then Kendrick goes on the Super Bowl and makes it even funnier to me. To me, this is all
Hmm.
funny. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. But yeah, Kendrick's on a roll. You know what I mean? I like J. Cole still,
Hmm.
even though I don't know. I'm an old man, so when you when you have a beef track and then you pull it back, I kind of go, like I know stuff's you know he's gonna come back with something that you may not like, but dog, you still. I get it though. I get it. He wanted to, stay away, and he didn't feel right to him. So I was like, all right, I get that, but still made me kind of go like that a little bit. But I do enjoy J. Cole. I rock a lot of his old stuff still. You know.
As a last note on hip hop, are you an Action Bronson guy?
Yeah, I like Action Bronson. It took me a minute because, again, I'm a curmudgeon since everyone likes to call me that now. To me, when I first heard Action, I was like, "Oh, is this Ghostface?" And they were like, "No," and I went, "Uh-oh," in my eyes. But then I heard I forgot the name of the song, but it was him, Raekwon, and Prodigy. I heard that song, and of course I heard Easy Rider too.
Hmm.
Easy Rider was the first song I heard of his where I witnessed that ghost. But then I heard that song with him, Prodigy, with Bronson, Prodigy, and Raekwon, and I went, nah, okay,
Hmm.
this dude's good. Yeah, like I
I was
don't
gonna
care
say
about
the song Terry, which I used in my Fry Takayama video. I believe the Terry in the title is Terry Funk.
Terry Funk, yeah.
Yeah.
So even better, but no Action for sure. And then I got to meet him at AEW, and again, I don't hang out with a lot of people, so I was around him, Hook, and Ortiz, Monkey, and Monkey. When we said peace to him, he bounced. Monkey was just like, bro, hearing you in Action talk was like seeing two dudes in front of a bodega just shooting the shit. I go, yeah, well, he's from Queens, bro. Like, what do you expect? So, no, even I became a bigger fan of his for how
Hmm.
cool he was and how much he respected what we did.
Hmm.
That makes it even better. You know what I mean? So, yeah, no, I was a fan of his music, and then meeting him, I'm a fan of him as a dude. You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
Because I do imagine the interaction is the Spider-Man meme of you and him.
yeah, we point at it. Yeah, no, yeah, no, it was funny because even Hook, who's mad quiet,
Hmm.
was started just laughing because I think Monkey whispered something to him, and I was like, yeah, and I remember going, "Are you talking shit?" So I don't. I think he whispered to him like, "You see this crazy?" It was just, it's a. I think people say it's a New York thing, but I think it's anybody who grew up in any neighborhood thing. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? I think me and Bronson are around the same age and same, close to same life experiences. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Far, but close enough. And where we get each other right off the rip. So, you know what I mean? It mostly happens with a lot of New Yorkers. My girl says it all the time when I see a New Yorker or know anybody from New York. She says, my body language changes, my voice changes, everything. And I go, I can't help it. Just like when she runs into people from Australia, her accent really comes in.
Hmm.
So, and I find it beautiful. So that's why I want more of her Australian friends over.
Well, now there's like half of the fucking AEW roster is Australian now.
Yeah. Yeah. So when she's around, she's loving it. She has a big smile on her face.
So for the final segment, I wanted to do what we did last time. So if you're up for it, would you like to say something nice about a wrestler after I
Yeah,
name them?
we'll try it. We'll try it.
All
We'll
right.
try it.
First one, Brian Danielson.
One word for Brian would be inspiration.
Hmm.
Yeah, and to back it up, since I set the table, I'll never forget watching Brian at WrestleMania 30, I think it was,
Hmm.
and then seeing what happened with him getting the titles and sitting there going, man, I remember wrestling this dude here,
Hmm.
or I remember seeing this dude here. And Brian's not your prototypical person that at the time WWE would like. And to see him reach the mountaintop of the business at that time just inspired me without me even knowing that I was inspired.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I didn't like Brian at the time. Now I respect him, but I didn't like Brian at the time. He probably didn't like me either. But you got to give people their due when they
Hmm.
do something great. And what he did to reach the mountaintop of at that time was the mountaintop was something so inspiring
Hmm.
to me and to a lot of the other people who knew Brian, who are on the independence grinding. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It was definitely a beautiful thing. So Brian, inspiration without a doubt.
All right, number two, newly out of Bullet Club, Gabe Kidd.
Gabe Kidd and Homicide said this to me, and this is the only reason why I believe it. It's because
Hmm.
Homicide don't lie. He don't bullshit. He don't care. Never did. He, um, younger version of me,
Yeah, I think
mentally,
I think that's why a lot of
mentally,
I think
yeah,
that's why a lot of people like myself are drawn to him.
yeah. I say, but mentally, he's a younger version of me. Not
Hmm.
physically, he's still in better shape than I am, and I'll give him that. But I'll still put a hole in his chest. See, I gotta say something.
Hmm.
But no, I say a younger version of me without a doubt. And maybe that's probably why, if you want to go psychology wise, that's probably why I don't like him.
Hmm.
It's probably because he reminds me of a younger version of me. But now that he's out of Bullet Club to see what now I'm interested. Now you may get me to go on my New Japan World account
Hmm.
and start seeing what's up because I want to see how Mr. New Japan he is now. You
Because
know,
like the moment in the which you said you haven't seen the Omega match.
no,
Okay, so there's a like a like now a to me iconic moment where towards the end of the match, he hits the Inoki octopus hold, and he's got the facial characteristics down. You could tell like he's trained under Shibata. He's thought about this for years, and it's just so reminiscent of when you are channeling your idols from the King's Road.
yeah, and it just happens, man. It just you watch it so much,
Hmm.
and I've watched so much of the Four Pillars and Akiyama, and I've watched so much of it that it just bleeds into
Hmm.
who you are when you're in that ring. You don't even mean to, but it just bleeds into you because those are your inspirations. Those are your people that made you want to do this. Like I said, ECW got me into wrestling again because I was a teenager and I didn't want to see Doink the Clown anymore.
Hmm.
And once I saw Raven and Dreamer and Douglas and Taz, I said, oh my God, I know people like this in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? And they gripped me. And because of that, I was able to buy tapes of Japanese wrestling. And the only Japanese wrestlers I knew were Muto and Chono from when they were in WCW. And then I picked up the Best of All Japan 95 from RF Video, the first one. And I saw Kobashi and Kawada go 60 minutes. And I said, that's it. These are my dudes. And then, just got the internet and started looking up stuff and watching Jumbo Saruda and Tenru and it just on and on and on. And then you just watch them and these are the guys that I want. And I bet you Gabe has the same feeling. I
Hmm.
want these guys respect more than anything.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? When I met Kawada and he said a lot of nice things to me that I'll keep to myself, that it's for me. But it just basically was no one could fucking ever tell me nothing
Yeah.
about the style that I love and the style that I like doing. No one can tell me a fucking thing anymore.
Hmm.
After talking to Kawada, after talking to Akiyama, and like I said, I'll keep what they said to me, but just know no one can say nothing. They can no one, and it will never bother me
Hmm.
because these men who I respect, you know what I'm saying, and that I can definitely feel in Gabe. Again, like a younger version of me, you say one thing and then we do something else.
Hmm.
And that used to be and I get it. That's probably why I don't like Gabe. It's because he reminds me of me when I was younger.
Yeah. All right. Final one. Feel free to dodge this one, but surely you can come up with something nice. CM Punk.
You're laughing before I even said it. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
I loved punching him in the face. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Again, I'm not a bullshitter.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna lie and be like, no, nothing. Fuck him. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take the personal stuff out of it and just look at it from like the outside and say that Punk is one of the few names still left in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you put CM Punk's name on a billboard
Yeah.
by itself, you're going to get people to come and
Mm-hmm.
see what's going on. Personally, that's a different story, but business wise, man, he's really one of the last few names in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't watched WWE in a very long time, not because I'm Mr. Whatever. It's just nothing. It's not interesting to me. That's me
Yeah.
though. If it's interesting in you, God bless, awesome. You're watching wrestling. That's all I care about personally. But yeah, Punk, I give him that, man. Like you put his name on anything, people are
Mm-hmm.
either gonna buy it or come see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You could put him in a supermarket or Walgreens or something saying CM Punk's gonna be here. People are gonna come to see what he's doing or get autographs. So
Mm-hmm.
he's definitely a name.
Hey, look at that. You got three compliments out with minimal
Yeah,
difficulty.
yeah, and I tell you right now, man, whew, my stomach is turning.
I was gonna say the one thing about you mentioned the WWE. One of the few people uh, I tune in for is one I wish could wrestle you, but probably never will. What do you think about Sheamus?
I want to fight him so
Yeah,
bad. I want to wrestle him very
he's
much because
clearly
I,
he's
I
never
just want
talked
to touch.
about it. He never talked about it.
It's mostly about machismo that I can show that I'm better
Mm-hmm.
and beat him. But also the other part is I like his style.
I was gonna say that you watched like his match with Gunther at Clash of the Castle, and there's no way that guy hasn't been watching like Kobashi matches. Like he doesn't talk about it, but it's like I see you, Sheamus. I know what
Yeah,
you've
I
been
see.
watching.
Well, why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? Some of
Yeah.
the best wrestling ever. Why wouldn't he? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Especially with someone like Walter Gunther. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
So I'm now out of questions. Do you have anything you want to leave the people with as you hunker down
Uh,
back at your place?
I'm trying every day.
Hmm.
I'm trying to get better mentally, physically, and emotionally every day. Just know that. Like, there's no, as my man Fred would say, no days off. Right? There's no days off in me trying to get better in all areas because I
Hmm.
don't want to come back with my mind not fully ready to go, not with my heart full, and not, of course, with the legs still messed up. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I want to be full in every way.
Hmm.
So just know that I'm trying every day, every second. I'm trying. And yeah, I may not be watching AEW, but I hear things. People
Hmm.
call me, and then they get mad when I don't pick up because I'm like, you're not saved in my phone. Like I don't like. Why are you calling me? How'd you get my number anyway? You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah. And then the people who here's a little jab that I have to do. I have to
Hmm.
do this because it's just me. But all the people who said they were like, yeah, Eddie, we're cool and this and that have not called me once. Have not. I don't care. I'm just letting you know that I know who you
Hmm.
are. I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm not gonna be unprofessional and walk in the locker room and start swinging a flapjack around. You know what I mean? And getting crazy like I used to and confronting people for no reason. Just know that I know who doesn't call, who doesn't come by when you're in town. I know. I've collected that data. Don't worry, I'm not going to beat you up. I'm not going to try to fight you. Again,
Yeah.
I'd never go. I'm not one of the again. I'm not one of the Tony Khan privileged that goes to his office to try to get people fired. That's not me. But just know that I know. But to the fans who matter, that's the most important thing. To the fans who go to the shows and watch and do all that stuff, I'm trying. I can't wait to get back. I miss everything. I miss all of y'all. I'll be back though.
All right, that's an excellent note to end on.